tonight, well, tonight's the night. All eyes, fashion world, and frankly beyond, are glued to New York City. It's May 5th, 2025, and it is Met Gala time. You know, it's a huge cultural moment.
Absolutely. But it's more than just the incredible looks, right? It's really vital.
Exactly. It's the main fundraiser, the primary way the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute gets its funding.
And this year, wow, it feels particularly significant. The theme, Tailored for You, it ties directly into the Costume Institute's spring exhibit.
It does. A really important show called Superfine, Tailoring Black Style.
Groundbreaking, really.
Totally. So we're going to dive deep into this whole idea of Black dandyism. It's a style movement, you know, with such deep historical roots.
And now it's getting this massive global spotlight.
Right. Think vibrant colors, really careful fabric choices, and just incredibly precise tailoring.
That construction is key.
So our mission here is to unpack what this year's theme really means, but also look at the wider picture, the Met Gala's history, its impact. We pulled together a lot of info.
Okay, let's get into it. The theme first, Black dandyism.
Yeah, let's start there, because that connection to the Superfine Tailoring Black Style exhibit is, well, it's the core of it this year.
And it's a big deal for the Institute itself. It's actually their first exhibition focused only on menswear in, over 2 decades.
That's huge. It really signals something.
Definitely a shift.
And the thinking behind it, the inspiration, comes from some serious scholarship. Monica Miller's book, right? From 2009.
That's the one. Slaves to Fashion, Black Dandyism and the Styling of Black Diasporic Identity. Really insightful work.
And when you dig into that history, it's powerful stuff.
It really is, because understanding that dandyism for Black individuals, it kind of emerged from the absolute horror of the transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah.
It wasn't just about looking sharp, it was profound. It was self-definition.
Reclaiming something.
Exactly. Taking elegance, luxury, things they were systematically denied, and using it to fight back against those dehumanizing stereotypes, to assert their dignity.
It was like a visual language almost. Empowerment. Resistance.
Absolutely. And you see that line through history.
For sure.
Yeah.
Figures like Frederick Douglass. His image was so carefully crafted, it spoke volumes.
Right. And then musically and stylistically, someone like Duke Ellington. Just undeniable flair.
Oh, yeah. And bringing it more current, you got the impact of Dapper Dan, of course.
Legend.
And the late Andre Leon Talley. His influence is just... it's still felt everywhere.
Completely. It shows how this tradition keeps evolving, keeps shaping style globally. You can feel it resonating right now.
And so the actual dress code for tonight, Tailored for You, it's not subtle, is it?
Not at all. It's a very clear nod to that bespoke tailoring, that artistry in menswear. It locks right into the exhibition's themes.
Okay, so while we're all watching the carpet, mesmerized by the fashion, let's not forget why it's happening.
The money. It always comes back to the fundraising. It's the lifeblood for the Costume Institute.
And the scale of it. It's kind of staggering.
Isn't it? For 2025, reports say they've already hit a record $31 million.
Already. Before anyone's even arrived.
Before the door is open, that's the highest ever. Shows you how much power this event still has.
Wow. And that's the money going to the Institute, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't even cover the cost of putting on this huge party.
Exactly. That $31 million, that's what pays for the exhibitions, acquiring new pieces, keeping the lights on and preserving fashion history through capital improvements. It supports everything they do.
It's wild to think how it started. 1948. A midnight supper.
Yeah, much smaller, quieter, held in different spots around Manhattan, actually.
So different from the global machine it is now.
Oh, completely. That huge transformation really kicked into gear when Anna Wintour became chair. That was, 1995?
Yeah, apart from 96 and 98, she's been steering it.
And locking it into that iconic spot the first Monday in May. Every year. You can set your calendar by it.
Okay, let's talk about getting in, because the vibe around this event is, intense exclusivity.
That's putting it mildly. It's strictly invitation only. And the key thing, every single invite, every single person there has to be personally approved by Anna Wintour.
Every single one.
Every single one. That level of control, that curation, is a massive part of its mystique and prestige.
And once you're past the velvet ropes, inside the museum, there are rules. Serious rules.
Oh, yeah. The big one is the no phones policy inside the Met.
Right. To keep it private, keep the mystery.
Exactly. Maintain that exclusivity. And then there are food things. No onions, garlic, chives.
Seriously.
Ugh.
Why? just for breath.
Probably. Quality control, no lingering odors, keep it pleasant, and of course, no smoking. City rolls, plus, the image.
It all adds to the control, doesn't it? Now, the security, I mean, it sounds like preparing for a head of state visit or something.
It's incredibly extensive. Reports talk about this massive security perimeter, a mile-wide frozen zone, they call it, around the museum.
The frozen zone.
Yeah. So you'll see tons of police, armed officers. There's talk of potential rooftop snipers, precautionary, you hope. Barricades everywhere, controlling traffic, people. They even use drones, apparently, for surveillance.
Drones. And checking cars.
Vehicle monitoring, yep. License plate readers, the works.
It sounds like they think about every tiny detail, like taxis and Ubers.
Oh, absolutely. They reroute them. Sometimes they might even close nearby subway exits temporarily, just to manage the flow, keep it secure.
Who's coordinating all this? NYPD.
It's a massive team effort. NYPD, private security hired just for the event, and sometimes, depending on the global situation or threat level, maybe even federal agencies get involved.
And you have to assume these days they're planning for, well, anything. Protests.
Definitely. Planning includes how to handle potential protests, especially around global conflicts like Gaza, and obviously vigilance against any kind of terrorist threat.
How do they manage protests if they happen?
Reports suggest they have designated arrest areas ready, standby buses. They have a whole plan to manage disruptions quickly and effectively.
It's a serious operation.
Yeah.
So amidst all that, who are the lucky 450 or so people expected inside tonight?
Yeah, around 450 eminent personalities. The final list is always top secret until they step on the carpet, but names have been floating around.
Like who? Give us some names.
Okay, so reports mention Zoe Saldana, Joey King, Nicole Kidman, Damson Idris, Monica Barbaro, Malcolm Washington, Denzel's son, Miranda Kerr, Usher.
Usher's having a moment.
Big time. Chloe Sevigny, Janelle Monáe, Simone Biles, and very fittingly, Dapper Dan himself.
That makes sense. And the co-chairs are always a big part of setting the tone, too.
Absolutely. This year, it's a powerhouse group. Pharrell Williams, Lewis Hamilton, Coleman Domingo, and A.P. Rocky.
Wow. Music, F1, acting.
And the honorary chair is LeBron James, so massive influence across the board.
And I heard there's a big host committee this year, too, like even more people involved.
Yeah, quite an extensive list. Let's see. Simone Biles and her husband, Jonathan Owens, Angel Reese, Sha'Carri Richardson.
Athletes representing.
Definitely. Then Spike Lee and Tanya Loosely, Regina King, Ayo Edebiri, Audra McDonald, Jeremy Pope, Doechii.
Okay, a lot of creatives.
Usher again, Tyla, Janelle Monáe again, Andre 3000. The author Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie.
Wow, Adichie.
Artists like Jordan Castile, Rashid Johnson, Kara Walker, playwrights Jeremy O'Harris, Brandon Jacobs Jenkins, and big fashion names Grace Wales Bonner, Edward Enninful, Dapper Dan again, Olivier Rousteing.
That is quite the cross-section of culture. It really shows the Met Gala's reach.
It really does.
Now, the question we all wonder, the ticket price. If you could just buy a ticket. What are we talking?
Well, if you were buying an individual ticket, reports say they start around $75,000.
$75,000.
Yep. But honestly, that's not really how it works for most attendees.
Right. It's the brands, the fashion houses buying tables.
Exactly. Companies, especially the big labels, buy table seats 10 people, and those start at around $350,000.
$350,000.
Minimum. And they then invite the celebrities, the influencers, the faces of their brand.
So it's strategic. It's about brand building, networking at the highest level, just as much as fundraising.
Oh, for sure. It's a major power play in the industry.
Okay, so beyond the money, beyond the guest list, the gala is famous or maybe infamous for moments like truly memorable fashion history and sometimes controversy.
Absolutely. This is where the legends are made, right? The stories people talk about for years. The fashion is the main event. But yeah, sometimes it's the stuff around the fashion too.
We've definitely seen some unforgettable entrances. Katy Perry's Angel Wings. What was that, 2018?
Huge. She needed an open-top car just to get there. That's dedication.
And Cara Delevingne in 2022, the gold paint, the nipple needs to be free message.
Yeah, that was bold. Directly tapping into those debates about bodies and censorship.
Going way back, Cher's sheer dress in 74. Can you imagine the reaction then?
Unbelievable for the time. Really pushed boundaries.
And sometimes it gets personal, like 2 Chainz proposing on the steps in 2018.
Right there. To Keisha Ward, his longtime partner. That was sweet.
And Madonna in 2017 showing off her hip flask.
Yeah, she joked it was summer water. Added a bit of fun to the formality.
And just last year, Tyla Sandress. That was just technically amazing.
A work of art, really. A visual feat.
Then there are the, let's call them accessories. Jaden Smith carrying his own dreadlocks in 2017.
That got people talking. And Rihanna, 2015, the yellow goupé gown.
The omelet dress. It broke the internet.
Instantly iconic. The memes were legendary.
And the drama, the social side of it all, you hear whispers, like the Nicki Minaj Cardi B stuff, though these seemed okay in 2018.
Right. And remember the photos of Lady Gaga and Madonna seemingly burying the hatchet after an after party in 2015? It's theater.
Cardi B certainly knows how to command that carpet, though.
Yeah.
That huge red feather gown in 2019.
Unforgettable. A total showstopper. And Jared Leto.
Oh, God, Jared Leto.
Yeah.
The full-body catsuit in 2023. Choupette.
Incredible detail. A tribute to Karl Lagerfeld's cat. And then carrying his own head in 2019?
That hyper-realistic head, it was creepy and brilliant.
Definitely leaves an impression. Pure theater.
And then there are the moments that really spark debate beyond fashion, like AOC's Tax the Rich dress in 2021.
Oh, that caused a stir. Huge debate about politics and fashion at an event like that.
Or Zendaya as Joan of Arc in 2018. That felt powerful.
Yeah, fashion, but also a statement about female strength, history, iconography.
It feels like there's a fine line sometimes, doesn't it? Between being artistically bold and genuinely controversial.
Definitely. Look at Doja Cat's wet t-shirt dress last year. Simple, but got a lot of different reactions.
And going back again, Cher's sheer jumpsuit in 74. Scandalous then.
Very. Kim Kardashian wearing Marilyn Monroe's actual dress in 2022. That sparked a whole different debate.
About conservation, yeah, and history.
Exactly. And Cara Delevingne again, 2021, the peg the patriarchy breastplate. Very direct statement.
No missing that message. Rihanna's papal headpiece in 2018. Some loved it, some criticized it.
For using religious imagery, yeah. And Kim K's head-to-toe black Balenciaga look in 2021. Completely covered. Polarizing.
Even Princess Diana's slip dress in 96. Seems tame now, but it was seen as breaking royal rules back then.
Right. Context is everything. And the Tax the Rich dress wasn't the only political statement we've seen.
Billie Eilish's big transformation in 2021 also got people talking, didn't it? About image and change.
It did. And sometimes people seem to just miss the theme entirely. Or maybe ignore it.
Like Karlie Kloss in 2019 for Camp. Some felt it wasn't quite campy enough.
A little underwhelming for that theme, perhaps.
But then you have outfits that just stick in your mind. Katy Perry's chandelier, Kim K's wet muggler dress,
Kendall Jenner's sheer La Perla, Taylor Swift's big goth moment in 2016,
Sarah Jessica Parker's headpiece that caused appropriation debates, Rihanna's yellow fur-trimmed gown again,
Gwyneth Paltrow calling her look anti-punk at the Punk Gala, Kim K's floral Givenchy her first time, Liv Tyler and Stella McCartney's rock royalty tees back in 99.
They all tell a story, don't they? About the person, the designer, the moment.
It really shows all the different ways people approach it, from high art to personal statements, and sometimes the performance goes beyond the clothes.
Like Lady Gaga's striptease in 2019.
Exactly. Or Jared Leto's cat head accessory. It's performance art on stairs.
So despite all this potential for chaos and spontaneity, the evening itself does have a kind of rhythm, right? A structure.
Generally, yeah. Guests arrive, they see these incredible flower displays, they greet the co-chairs.
Okay.
Usually there's a cocktail hour, although, the really big names might sweep in later and skip that.
Ah, the strategic late arrival.
Of course. Then viewing the exhibition is key.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, really. And then there's a formal dinner, usually in the Temple of Dender.
Beautiful setting.
Stunning. But again, if you arrive super late, you might miss dinner too.
Right. It all leads back to supporting the reason they're there, the Costume Institute itself, which is this incredible treasure trove.
It really is. The collection is vast, over 33,000 objects. We're talking 7 centuries of fashion history from all over the world. It's unparalleled.
And it has its own dedicated wing now, the Anna Wintour Costume Center, reopened in 2014 after a big renovation.
Right. And inside that center, you've got the main exhibition space, the Lizzie and Jonathan Tisch Gallery. There's also a smaller one, the Carl and Iris Beryl Apfel Gallery.
And crucial behind-the-scenes stuff.
Absolutely. A state-of-the-art conservation lab essential for preserving these delicate pieces, a huge study and storage facility. That's where they house everything, including the pieces merged from the Brooklyn Museum costume collection.
Right, that merger was significant.
Hugely. And there's the Irene Lewison Costume Reference Library, a vital resource for research.
And merging with Brooklyn Museum's collection.
Yeah.
That made it the biggest in the world, right?
The largest, most comprehensive costume collection anywhere. It gives you this incredible timeline, especially of Western fashion, but much more besides.
And it's not just locked away. People can actually access it.
Yes, importantly, it's a working archive. Scholars, designers, students, anyone with a serious interest can make appointments to study the collection up close.
That's amazing. And the Institute itself has quite a history. It wasn't always part of the Met.
No, it started independently, back in 1937 as the Museum of Costume Art.
Okay.
Then it merged with the Met in 1946, largely thanks to money from the fashion industry itself. Eventually became its own curatorial department.
And some legendary figures have led it. Diana Vreeland. Her shows were famous.
Absolutely legendary, theatrical, impactful. Richard Martin, too, known for his really smart thematic exhibitions. And now the curator in charge is Andrew Bolton.
Wendy, you curator in charge, yes. He's continued that legacy of really thought-provoking shows.
Definitely. They've done incredible retrospective Chanel, Poiret, Alexander McQueen, and those huge thematic shows like Heavenly Bodies.
Fashion and the Catholic imagination, yeah. And camp. Notes on fashion.
And Heavenly Bodies, that was actually the Met's most visited exhibition ever in its entire history.
Wow. That says something about the power of fashion and its connection to culture, doesn't it?
It really underscores the Institute's importance, yeah. Its cultural pull.
So, okay, as tonight's Met Gala unfolds, the 2025 edition, it's clear it's so much more than just a party. It's this vital fundraising machine. It's this super exclusive global spotlight, a stage for fashion moments we'll talk about forever.
And all framed this year by this really significant, deep theme of Black dandyism.
Yeah, that tailored for you theme, linking straight to the Superfine Tailoring Black Style show. It feels important. It's a timely exploration of Black style, its history.
Bringing this really influential, often overlooked movement right into the global focus. It needed that spotlight.
Absolutely. So as you're scrolling through the photos tonight or watching the coverage, maybe think about this. How powerful can fashion actually be?
Right.
As, cultural expression, as commentary on history, even as a political statement.
We're seeing it so clearly with the Black dandyism theme tonight. Yeah. We've definitely seen it in all those controversial or daring looks from Gala's past.
So the question to ponder is, what other messages, maybe subtle ones, maybe really obvious ones, are woven into those incredible clothes hitting the carpet right now? What else is being said?